Today we will talk about a healthy relationship in our development teams. So let me firstly speak a bit what I'm a lot more. So I started my career as Fullstack developer. I have about 13 years of experience in development. So then I switched to Frontend and 3D development. I became teacher speaker in different conferences in different schools. So I was working as team lead, and the most important thing that I was working in different companies, in small and big, FinTech and now I'm working in startup, it's like 70 people as developer relations engineer. So I want to share with you my experience, how it's working with different cultural environments and multicultural also teams. Let's speak today a bit more about status, about health environment now in our development work. Then we will speak about stress level, and the most interesting part, I think, also how we can reduce the stress level and advantages of what's going on now in our teams. I will start since COVID time, 2020. For me, it was quite hard time because I just broke up with my long relationship. Like 1 week before COVID started, I was thinking I'm going to travel, so now a single life and etc. But I was blocked alone in the house, and I have never ever lived alone before. So for me, it was quite an experience. And then after COVID already isolation a bit stopped. So we started, I think, live again. And then the war started between Russia and Ukraine. Now also we have new wars this year in the world. And all of this doesn't help us to live our calm, peaceful lives, unfortunately. So another stress level was increased after layoffs. So a lot of people, last couple of years, they were fired, laid off. So it's like a big problem. And I want to share one case when guy was laid off just 10 days before he should start his job in Google. So it's quite a situation. And before all these situations, we had only deadlines in our stress life. So we were actually very stressful only in the end of deadlines, like last couple of weeks, I guess, and before we were quite relaxed. And I think that we need a bit stop and think about consequences of all these situations in the world. So if we have some stress because of some problems, we feel a lot of emotions about that, a lot of feelings. And raise your hand if you felt something like this last 2 years. Anxiety, yeah, okay, thanks. We're in the same team. So after such cases, we may be not working as productive as we worked before. So what could happen with our work? What the consequences actually? So first, consequences may be no bonus. Okay, then maybe you can have a serious talk with your manager about your efficiency at the team. Then maybe demotion, maybe need to switch leading position just to development or whatever. And maybe you could be fired or laid off, and that's also a problem. But I want to share with you several cases when they actually, it's even worse what could happen. So the girl was bullied in company because of environment in the company, and then she died. So first she had some panic attacks, later she felt something even worse. In the end, so her organism was not handle was not able to handle with the situation, unfortunately. And also, I live in Luxembourg 7 years, so in Luxembourg also there are some cases with harassment at work, and there are actually much more cases in the world. So all of this is just stress, and it's quite hard to to work in productive manner when we have it. Let's think what we can do. So I would recommend firstly, just take a deep breath. Let's do it together with me now. Yeah, breathing actually very helpful for me because I even like diving just because diving helps you to breathe in a regular manner, because sometimes I keep my breath when I'm nervous, when I feel this anxiety, and diving helps me to solve this problem somehow. I need to go to diving, I guess, soon. Yeah, so let's start with self-awareness. I think that all problems could be solved when you at least understand what the problem is. And I would say that if you understand that problem is really very complex for you and hard, and your friends, they don't help, maybe it's a good idea to go to psychologist, because psychologists can help you to at least to differentiate different topics in your head. And a lot of my friends in development, they go to psychologists. It's not like a big deal. I also was there, so I highly recommend. If you understand that it's hard for you now, the situation is not good, if you have some time to ask for help, then go. But if you want to try to do by yourself, I would recommend to split tasks to smaller ones. And because you can start just with some small tasks and then go to the next. It's not already like a big problem in your head. But when you decided to pick up one task and trying to achieve some goal with this task, don't try to be perfect in your how you trying to achieve the goal, because don't remember that the best is the enemy of good. It's better if you do something than you do nothing, because you understand. So yeah. And very close to this, and no over engineering, because over engineering is when we want to create some nice product in the end and scalable for all situations. But business doesn't need it quite often. I saw several times in my experience when people, even from different teams, that try to do something, they sometimes duplicate their work also, but sometimes they try to scale it for different platforms. But business never will need maybe this in the end. So try to understand how scalable exactly the product should be. There are limits in this, and it's time, money for business. Also, when you understand that you have some feelings and you don't want to solve some tasks, they are very boring for you, try to look at them from another perspective. So boring tasks are good when you feel tired, for example, or you just have some problems maybe today in your life. Then you can do this simple task, because it's so easy to do something which you already know what is boring. It's just regular your job. But when you have time for something hard, complex, when you need to have a lot of brain capacity, you can do something else. This is perfect case usually when we have some design in Figma, and then in front-end development we want to build our components on React. So but unfortunately, quite often we don't have this perfect design. And sometimes we have JPEG or wireframe only. And it's also could be a bit irritating for you that, oh, come on, do your job or something. But sometimes there are even no developers in the company, unfortunately, and our manager just gave you some text how this admin panel should be. And I would say that yes, maybe that's a bit stressful, but at the same time, it's your growing area because how you can solve these tasks without any extra requirements, without clear requirements, that's how senior you are in your position, because you can do everything, like not everything in the world, but there are different circumstances, yes, in our life. Then refactoring. Refactoring sometimes is very useful thing, and we can go faster with our development, for example, or we can do refactoring because you know, right, what is refactoring? So yeah, good. That we don't change actually functionality of our product. We just change some code, like to make it more clean or something. But quite often I saw in my experience that refactoring was like this, and we just, yes, maybe we sometimes want to change to new library version or to fix some, not to fix some bugs because it's not refactoring, but so we are doing something just to update our technologies, our something. It's good, but you always need to understand how you sell this refactoring to your manager, because as I said, it's better if you solve it with performance, about performance, for example, or something in the end what could be good for user. So this is a table of skill matrix. Companies, people use it usually to understand their skills in different technology. For example, this all on the left side you put different members in a team. Then on the top you put skills what you need to build this product. This table can help you to understand how many skills you have. But also with this table you can understand who is a replaceable person, because if you have one person who knows like everyone and a lot of other people they know just a bit on something, then you are really in big trouble, because they're not slaves, everyone can leave the company and you will be without this valuable knowledge. And so use this table to look where you need to teach someone something, then some skill they will be replaceable somehow. So also then this person can go to vacation without any troubles. So yeah, then when we finished with understanding all what we want at our work, what we don't like at our work, we can go to self-regulation, self-discipline. Usually for this we use a lot of different tools. We use like Jira, Mira a lot, and I would say that these tools, they help not only at work, in my personal life I also use them. So I try to use Trello and I will use Notion, just a small board to put all my tickets, all things what I want to do, because it helps me to see the whole picture and also decide what exactly is more important. So daily, raise your hand if you like daily. Okay, so daily, yeah. Firstly, I hated daily. I thought that it's just wasting of my time. But a couple of times was situation, the one situation was when I said that, oh God, like I lost my commit. I definitely already like closed this ticket in Jira, but I don't see where is it in the code. It's not working. And I was not responsible of like merging. So I merged my branch, that's all. I took another task and created new branch for new task. But somehow in my branch, I didn't see my commits in the end, so it was not working. And then on daily, we realized that someone just made a forced push, and so because it was like another important branch, so they did a forced push, and some commits they were lost. Then we solved the issue, but I didn't know whom I need to ask firstly, right? Who did this? Or what exactly happened? Where am I coming? So, but daily helps to solve your problems, to solve your these issues when you're blocked with your tasks. And you need to remember, I just this year I finished Scrum Product Owner Advanced course, and now I know one thing, that Scrum is not a status making, how people suppose it is. And a lot of managers, they still now do this mistake that they, like, I'm manager, I'm asking, what have you done yesterday, what are you going to do tomorrow, so okay, let's talk about that. But that's not the point, right? We are not gathering to say, like at school, what you did or why you didn't do that. You're a normal person, you're responsible, and in Scrum also there is these definitions about mature company and not enough mature. So how you responsible of your work, in your work. And so yeah, I just would recommend to use it only discuss blockers, and also manager is not like even how to say, it's not, he's not or she, they're not obliged to visit these meetings. These daily meetings for developers like designers, developers, testers, etc. So then priority. When I look at different boards, we see different priorities also, but we need to remember that priorities, they are changing, like all whole world changing each day. We don't know what's going to happen next, unfortunately. Now, I think you believe me, last 2 years they showed it. So yeah, just try to check your priorities not only in your game work, because maybe something changed and you need to refocus on another task. And derailing is quite a lot. So first I wanted to do one thing, then I need to stop working on an article, I need to do something with stock, so it's a lot of stuff. And in your personal life as well, because maybe, I don't know, guest came and you were not able to finish something today, I don't know. So, and then I think also quite important that when you move tickets to done, you feel this satisfaction that you really finished something today, maybe even several tasks. Maybe, okay, you didn't finish something for a couple of days, but today you finish all of them in one day because you were like energized. And this can help you to fight with your imposter syndrome if you have, because also people sometimes go to psychologists, but sometimes they try to use tools to show themselves that they worth something in this life. And again, about self-management, try to use all these calendars to do it in your personal life, because you will be much more efficient in your life if you have it. You see visually your task. You can free your brain for something creative when you don't put all these appointments for doctor in the head, right? And when you feel that you're overloaded, just say no, because sometimes it's hard to say no someone. Yes, and you will have a lot of in your life things because you just didn't refuse someone. And some products also could be delivered, released, and we don't remember about these products, right? That because they just we didn't use them at all. So also, what about this car, DeLorean? If you know, when Back to Future were released, the movie. I hope have you watched Back to Future? I hope, yeah. Everyone should watch it. So yeah, DeLorean was already bankrupted, so it was epic fail already, actually. And some phones. So just say no. If the product is not ready, be responsible. Even if you're just developer, not QA or not manager, say no, we should not release that. And some bit more cases about Tesla, TikTok application, and even cyber attacks on nuclear power plants. Okay, now just a small break and story time about my cat. So this is my cat Tigrasha. He's helping me to learn Luxembourgish. So, and in the beginning of this year, we had some problems. So he started yelling when I came back from GD Summit in Berlin. So he started yelling, crying, doing like this, and I didn't understand what was going on. Of course, we went to veterinary, and veterinary gave him some like pills, not feeling pain, because we thought that maybe he just fell down or something, because nothing was visible what's going on. But then after 1 week, we needed to come back because it was worse next week. It didn't help. And then they sent us to hospital in France, and then we found out what exactly happened, and he got his treatment. So it was actually hernia in the neck. So we saw that maybe it's a lot of different things with brain or whatever, because it's absolutely not clear what was with the ear, but it was neck, the problem. So I think you can get the point, right? So my cat, I can't speak with him, unfortunately. I don't understand cat language. So, but we have tongue and we can speak English. I think, yes, everyone. So that's the point, that when you have something where you're frustrated or confused at work, just speak about this. And you can speak with your friends, with your managers, with your colleagues. And that's why we're going to social skills. Third part. Usually we talk through work chats, even if we in the same office, but I'm now fully remote. And when we speak a lot of time, it's some kind like not efficient, and I would recommend that if you spend more than 5 minutes writing something and the problem was not solved after this, then just call. Because when you make a screen share and you like show what exactly is going wrong, it's so easy to solve. It's like really, you see environment maybe or some, I don't know, config problem, so it's so easy and faster. Also very important, it's one-to-one meetings, like tete-a-tete meeting with your manager or with your team members if you're a manager. And in my experience, not in all companies I had that. Sometimes I had one meeting per year with my manager just to discuss salary. Yeah, not good. So, this actually time to speak about all your boring tasks, about all your problems. Maybe you have relatives, right? We talked about war, so maybe you have relatives, I don't know, in Israel, in Palestine, in Russia, Ukraine. Doesn't matter. You can discuss it, and your manager will be ready to understand you, that something is going on with your family maybe. So it's very important to grow and to grow, yes, and to be, how to say, to have closer communications with your manager. And then social skills is, of course, networking. All of us here, I hope that you are not only listening talks, but you also talk with each other, because networking is a very great tool, not only to become a speaker, for example, to another conference, but you getting new friends, you share your knowledges, you share your pains, you just know much more, not like only your life, but lives about all other people, some parts of it, and it's so cool. Okay, then fourth part, empathy. After social skills, I think it's quite logical. And at work, we usually have some lack of empathy when we're doing code review. And I think the common case when some senior developer checking junior's code, and with the feedback, they are very direct sometimes, like, okay, fix that, and that. But there is some rules from Google how you can, best practices how to do code review. And what do you think the first string there, like first sentence? Any guess? Be kind. Yeah, you first one who said. Yeah, because each one when I had this talk, so everyone said something else. But be kind. It's the first sentence in this code review practices. So we need to remember that all of us actually were the same at some point, like maybe 10 years ago. And yeah, be kind because your direct critics usually don't help to grow someone, and it can just make worse sometimes. Also, when you have a very long feedback on code review, it may be a reason to write something in definition of done, how actually tasks should be completed, all these rules, and also style guides. So, and for style guides, actually, you can use different tools for format your syntax, for whatever. We have so many things. Just set up them, please, and put all your ideas what should be changed in a document that you can share through your team, that people will look next time and already know what they need to fix. And continue that if you want to change some processes in the team, and we adaptive people, we actually it's much better if we change through the time. And retrospective is my favorite event. I think it's also the same in your own life. It's good just stop sometimes and to think, what have I done good and what I can do better in my life? What I need to change in my way how I'm doing something. And also about empathy, I would highly recommend to read this book, The Cultural Map, about different diverse teams and different cases, how people sometimes don't understand each other just because of different cultures. It's not like a problem or something, but we have situations and we need to solve them. And just several small tips from this book. I would say that when you work in multicultural company, even when you just went to new company, just firstly try to listen, try to absorb, and don't speak too much. So try to understand what's the point of all people, try to understand them, who are they, how they're doing things. Then also some of points, the differences between different cultures, it's like filling time. For some people, 15 minutes, it's okay to be late. For some people, even 2 minutes on daily, it's like really bad already, because daily is like 15 minutes at all. So you need to understand the environment. You need to understand your managers, how they like used to do the things. And then the second thing is different societies. So I'm originally from Russia, and our society is quite hierarchical, and that could be a problem because still now I'm working with American and with Dutch people mostly, and sometimes I'm trying to get some, how to say this, acceptance, like that they say that, yeah, okay, do it. So I have ideas, I have initiative, but I'm still waiting this year. But my manager, I'm feeling that my manager wants me to be even more efficient, and I'm not used to that, but I want to be even more initiative in this. And you need to understand culture of your company, because sometimes in another companies you can overstep someone, and it could be really, really big problem. Also about different, how to say this, there are flat structure companies when you can like talk with CTO, for example, CEO without any problems. But in another companies you can't speak with like manager of your manager, because your manager will be offended after this sometimes. So try to feel vibes of your company, of the environment. And also the last picture about low context cultures and high context cultures. It's also like I didn't know about this terminology, but American culture, it's called like low context because this country was like with a lot of expats. Like in Luxembourg, also we have 50% of expats, so it's quite a multicultural country. But American, they like I think the first one growing this, and that the consequences of this, that people trying to explain everything with very easy words as much as they can. And for some other cultures, like Japanese maybe, they trying to, reading the air. Because if you very precise in some definitions, they can think that you think that they're stupid or something. So, yeah, there are a lot of these points, but when people, they switch their countries, they actually changing as well. So, for example, me, I change a lot for the last 7 years, and I like my changes. So that's why when you see someone, maybe they're already not so, how they were cultural in that thing. So, yeah. And a bit words about feedback. That's quite famous thing, right? I think you know how to provide feedback, but I still wanted to make a point here that when you say some like code review feedback or just feedback to your friends or I don't know to your partner as well, don't say only bad things, only like growing points. Say firstly like, yeah, you did great, that's cool, but then also be constructive. Don't say that that's like you can do much better or something. Say exactly where it could be better and on which steps of like I don't know talk or whatever. Yeah, and also I recommend to ask for feedback because if you don't ask, some people they don't give feedback because they're very polite. They don't give it because of such reasons. And last point about multicultural. Just like what I learned in Luxembourg, don't be so judgeful. So don't judge people just because they're different. Because we are different, that's okay. Actually, that's our power that we are multicultural, we are diverse. That's really very strong, benefit of this. Because we can take the strong things from all our cultures. Just be patient, try to speak, and build bridges. So the last part is motivation. Actually, I think that motivation is something what should be the first before all of what I told, but let's just conclude that there are some benefits of all these stress things like deadlines and even worse things. When you're in not a nice situation, not in comfort situation, you grow. Because when you try to go out of your comfort zone, you always see something new people, new experience, new technologies, and that's your growing area always. Also, when you in this stress situation, you can get much more information in short period of time. It just like works like this. People sometimes have very stable work, but they could be juniors for 10 years. And sometimes people became senior in a couple of years. It's really, they just can do everything from scratch without like clear requirements. This is actually quite good quality. But it depends on you. And also benefit of all this situation is stress resistance, because if you had this not nice experience, then next time you will be ready for this. You will say like, oh, I saw this already. Okay, now I know what to do. And in my case, when I actually had some boring tasks or something, I wanted to go wider in my knowledge. So I switched several frameworks. So I worked with React, I worked with Angular. I was working with 3D. I still love metaverse because I like gaming. And I absolutely fall in love with AI industry now since this year, actually. I'm working in blockchain. I'm so curious about different things, and I'm not bored at all now. And I think if you try different things, talking with your manager and changing your maybe positions, changing your tasks, and nothing else, then maybe you need to change your job. But in my case, I love my job, and yeah, in the situation when I understood that, okay, I'm done with this company, so okay, now I need to find something else, something more interesting for me at this moment. And all this parts, what we talked about, actually is parts of emotional intelligence. And the idea of all this topic, I think, in the last sentence. So you can have a lot of advice on how to organize yourself, how to, I don't know, provide feedback. But the idea is just be empathic, be kind to people, because how you talk with people, and maybe not immediately, but later they will the same way speak with you. Because, we sometimes waiting some good like relationship in return, but it doesn't work because some people unfortunately just don't know how to be kind. Unfortunately, maybe they had, I don't know, some bad past years or bad childhood. So be kind to them as well. Thank you very much. That's all from me today. And do you have any questions? About maybe someone wants to share their pain, to discuss something. Yeah.
I really appreciate the idea about the feedback, but the problem is that when you're not like a part of the dev team, they are very reluctant to give you feedback. So you're asking, you're begging, and you're doing well. Okay, thank you, but it didn't help me. So how to nudge dev teams to contribute, to give you a proper feedback, helpful feedback?
I think maybe to ask precise questions, because, for example, I just gave last week talk about blockchain. It was my first talk about blockchain, and I wanted feedback immediately. And in the hall, it was several of my colleagues, and I asked several of them, they give me feedback, because some of them more skilled and more longer in this industry. I asked them, if someone doesn't know what to say, you can ask direct questions, like which like topics, for example, I can cover more deeply, like in more technical way, or more use cases. So I already actually quite often know some parts, and I can just like push them a bit to this side, and then they can speak, I think. Yeah, so you can just ask more precise questions, I think. Yeah. Some other questions? No question, no pain. Okay. Thank you very much.